What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back again with another film breakdown, this time taking a look at the Chiefs and the Patriots. Pretty standard for me to look at the Patriots game every week, being that I am a fan of them. If you guys are sticking with me and you're not Patriots fans, I really appreciate that. I'm trying to get to as many games as I can, but I do work, and YouTube is not full-time for me by any means. So I would love to get there one day. Maybe. We'll see. That being said, if you guys could hit that like and subscribe button, it would mean the world to me. I do really enjoy these film breakdowns, and for those of you guys who are supporting me right now, I really appreciate it. Really quickly, I do use the highlighter in this one, and that goes out to a Reddit user who kind of coached me up on how to get that going on my laptop. And in this video, a little disclaimer: my laptop gets super choppy trying to break this stuff down. I don't think that it can really handle the full film breakdown stuff, but I do the best that I can with it, and I really hope that you guys can bear with me. But with all that being said, guys, let's dive on into this film breakdown. All right, everybody, first play we're taking a look at here is going to be on the second possession for the Patriots, and something that they did almost every time on first down was run the rock, right? Which I don't hate. I understand that you run to set up the pass, you pass to set up the run. It's that old adage in football. I think that New England got to a point of predictability where it was so blatantly obvious that they were going to run the rock on first down that it kind of it hurt them, right? To be honest, it hurt them. Okay, now when we look at this thing from the top view, right, from the sideline view, we have the numbers are there to run this thing weak side, right? The numbers are there to run this weak side, and it's not really the schematics of it. It's the blocking of it that hurt us. And on this play, Isaiah Wynn and the center 66, I believe his last name is Ferentz, absolutely kill us on this play. Absolutely kill us. And we can see right here, right, Isaiah Wynn is going to get pushed straight into the backfield. Okay, now on this play, specifically in this wide zone, this left tackle is the key to the whole thing. All right. Most of the time, this defender is going to be gap sound in that gap right there. You're going to be playing that edge. You have to be forceful with it. You can't get bent back. You can't get pushed to the sideline. You got to sink your hips and stay firm on that edge, right? Which is exactly what this dude does. It's a really good job. At the left tackle spot, you have to be working this dude to the sideline, because as a running back, you're reading this guy. He's going to determine where you take this rock. All right. If he plays this thing outside, there's going to be a gap that opens up right here, and we're going to hit it right there. Okay, if he's going to end up playing into this gap, right, and he's going to be firm onto that tackle, okay, you guys can't see anything now because there's a bunch of marker there, but if he's going to be firm on that tackle, then our tackle is going to reach him, and we're going to work to the outside. Now we look at this thing from the end zone film, and we can see schematically, this is there, right? This play is there for sure. So what's going to happen on this is our left tackle is going to work out onto this defensive end, right? He's going to be taking a path more like that, okay? But we'll watch and we'll see that Isaiah Wynn really gets blown up into the backfield, right? Boom, right here, okay? We can't get pushed into the backfield like that. See, now there's this gray area, right? What's he doing? Because really the defender's doing a really good job of taking a two-way go on this thing. If the back's going to keep this thing inside, then he's going to reach his arm out just like he does and tackle him. Right now, if Isaiah Wynn gets into this position right here and he says, you know what, he's got me beat to this inside, I'm going to reach him, okay, which is very difficult to do right here because of where his helmet's at and where his hips are at. This block is meant for him to push it out, right? If you looked at his body language right here, his hips are pointed towards the sideline, his arm, right, his helmet placement and his shoulder pads are not in the right spot, which is why this play ends up getting beat for a gain of 2. Okay, but if his helmet's in the right spot, right, if he's on really this back shoulder pad of 52, he can run this dude to the sidelines. All right, now that's the first thing that gets this play messed up. Like I said, let me go back to the schematics of it because I glossed over that. We're working out here with our left tackle. We're working up to this backer with our guard, and we're reaching this nose tackle with our center. Okay, now the two people that kill this play is going to be the left tackle and the center. All right, now we went over the left tackle. Watch the center on this Ferentz. All right, he does a decent job of, he actually gets into the right spot right there. You're in the right spot. Right here in this position, he has to shut this thing down and get right here on him, right? You have to reach that guy. You're in the right spot. Get your helmet right to his shoulder pad and seal off a lane so that your running back can take this thing right here. Okay, this dude's working out. Our guard's going to work up there. We have a lane right here. But because the center doesn't do that, he kind of stays soft with it and runs with him down the sidelines. That's where we end up getting pushed back. We have no gap to run through because that end reaches his arm out and tackles him. Phenomenal play by 52 on this. Really good job on that. And ends up being a gain of 2 for Rex Burkhead on first down. Fellas, another one of the reasons why New England lost this game was their third down percentage was they were 2 for 12 on third down. And you're not winning a game in the NFL with that low of a conversion rate on third down. It's not going to happen. So that isn't always the schematics of it, though. In this situation, they end up running a play action, right? They're just trying to sell wide zone down to the bottom, and then they're going to leak their two tight ends out. One of them is going to end up running a comeback. The other one's running a vertical. So Ben Watson on this is going to run a comeback right here. Lacoste is going to run a vertical on that. You're just trying to put this safety in a bind. You're going to assume that this dude's coming up because he has to be gap sound. He can't just run back, right? Because if they do actually hand that thing off, you get what I'm saying. It's got to be gap sound in his defense, okay? So you're trying to put that safety in a bind. Offensive line-wise, we're just trying to sell wide zone from everybody except for our guard, who's going to end up peeling back on this and trying to cut off anybody who's coming on that backside, okay? Now, what ends up happening with it and why this play ends up getting killed is, again, because of Isaiah Wynn. Okay, and we'll watch this thing in the full time from the end zone, and you can really see it here. You see Joe Thuney coming back on that thing, just trying to cut anything off. Obviously, nobody's there. They usually do that with the center because of the new center. They take that responsibility off of him. You put it on your guard. It's essentially the exact same thing. Now, offensive line-wise on this, okay? Like I said, wide zone. You're just trying to sell wide zone. He's going to end up peeling back right here. Isaiah Wynn has to bury this dude down to the sideline. You have to bury him down to the sideline. You can't be assuming that anybody's going to be in the way. No, this is I'm burying this dude to the sideline and giving my quarterback a chance to get this ball off. But what we'll see here, Isaiah Wynn in the center, Ferentz, again, are the reasons why this play ends up getting killed. Isaiah Wynn he's not physical enough on this. That's my biggest thing, is that he can't stop his feet. You can't assume that he ran it. No, you just got to bury this dude. Boom, right there. Run your feet, extend your arms, and get this dude out of the way. But he doesn't do that. He ends up breaking through. He ends up having a little bit of separation because he's doing a good job with his arms. Puts Brady off of his launch point, and he ends up having to dodge a couple of guys, get into almost a scramble mode, right? And that ball ends up being inaccurate. Okay, the other guy is our center, right? Now, the center is in a little bit more of a gray area here. See how this defensive lineman is going to end up working to his backside, okay? Usually when it's this protection, you're never going to like roll back and try and block this guy. I understand that. I understand that from his perspective. But from right here, pre-snap, dude, you got to take this guy and you got to run him to the sidelines. Right here, boom. Put your arm out there. Make your steps get a little bit more upfield. Don't be so flat down the line of scrimmage, and take that dude to the sidelines, right? But those two guys are the reason why this play gets messed up. They're the reason why that last play, the wide zone, got messed up. It's if a lot of the responsibility falls on them. Not so much on the play calling, not so much, obviously the receivers, we'll get into them in this one, but those two guys, especially on this play, are the reasons why they don't convert on this third down early in the game too. All right, fellas, this is going to be the pick from Brady, and you know, pre-snap, I don't blame him for throwing this ball. This is straight cover one if you look at it pre-snap, right? They motion Lacoste across the formation. Now he's going to be matched up right here. This backer is going to be matched up with Ben Watson right here. Ben Watson ends up running a little bender inside. Lacoste does a great job of beating his man off the line of scrimmage and works right into that seam, right? You're running a slant from Edelman here, and I believe you got a slant on the backside. This is where you throw that ball. No question about it. That's where you throw the football. But you'll see that the corner ends up getting lucky, and I believe Tony Romo said that when they were broadcasting it live. But to be honest, the corner just gets lucky on this one. He gets smoked on the slant. And I know what you guys are thinking, well, Brady should have thrown the slant then. No, that's not what's happening, right? If you're looking at this thing in real time, cover one, boom, you know that he right here, it looks like he's going to run with the slant. I don't blame him at all for throwing this ball, right? Tries to go over the top to Lacoste for a decent gain and ends up getting picked off. So keep the ball. Brady doesn't throw a lot of those, although he has thrown more than usual this year. I will admit it. I'm not that ignorant of a fan. But, yeah, there's really not much more to say about this play. Cornerback got lucky on it, and the Chiefs ended up capitalizing. All right, fellas, probably one of the better running plays from the Patriots on the day. Really simple. They just motion in Matt Lacoste from their number one spot on the outside. They run a really simple inside zone with a wham. Chiefs are in cover one, so the defensive back over Matt Lacoste ends up flying with him. Opens up a nice seam for James White. Picks up about 19 or whatever it was. But I'll draw this thing up for you guys. Really good blocking up front. Really good blocking up front. You got to give the big dogs credit for that. So how this thing is going to look, right? We're going to work out with our left tackle onto that defense defensive end. We're going to combo with our center and our guard. We're going to work up to that inside linebacker. That's going to technically be the Mike on this play. Our backside guard and tackle are going to combo here and work up to that backside backer. We're going to wham across with Matt Lacoste, and then James White is going to essentially pick this gap, right, this backside A gap or that play side B gap, and you can kind of tell that as the play goes. Now, as Lacoste runs across the formation, this defensive back is going to work with him because we have cover one up top. It's funny how everything kind of comes together when you look at a defense like this. But again, really good job from the big dogs up front. Really good job. Look at Joe Tooney hang in there, right? He's tracking that backer, does a great job tracking. See how he doesn't get too far out with this backer? He sees that this backer is looking to hit this thing A gap, right? Which is what James White's path looks like. It looks like he's going to hit this thing right here, but he doesn't end up going there, right? Excuse me. It looks like he's going to hit this thing right here just with his path, but he does a great job staying patient and bouncing this thing to the outside, which is where he ends up picking up a good chunk of yardage. But again, just giving credit where credit's due. Shaq Mason, really good job coming off to Sorensen on that, and a great pickup for the Patriots on this one. Definitely one of their better plays on the day. All right, guys, something the Chiefs were doing really all day anytime the Patriots went to an empty look is they were bringing heat, right? They were going to bring 6, and there's a couple of different defensive philosophies for when offenses go into empty. Sometimes they'll drop 8, they'll go into a cover 3, they'll go into a quarters look. The Chiefs, they're going to pressure, right? That's very Spagnuolo of them, their defensive coordinator. That's very much right up his alley. If you're going to go empty, we're going to bring 6, and we're going to force you to make a mistake or get this ball off quick, which is exactly what the Patriots do here. It ends up being a really solid pickup, but I just kind of want to shed some light onto what's going on up front, right? Because a lot of times we just see the pressure watching TV and we're like, oh, the offensive line's not doing their job. No, they're doing their job. It's just tough to block 6 when you've only got 5. Right? One guy's got to be accounted for by the quarterback. So route-wise on this, right, just because I want to get this off my chest, these two inside receivers, right, we got Lacoste right here. He's going to work upfield, and he's really just trying to clear out. Edelman's going to run this underneath crosser. He's going to be wide open. Really good pickup on that for the Pats, and that's just great coaching, to be honest with you. A lot of times when they see blitzes like this, they'll know, hey, I got to shorten my route. I got to do whatever to make sure that we get this thing off in time. But when we watch this thing from the end zone, we'll kind of start to see why there was so much heat from the Chiefs, right? They're bringing 6, Pats only have 5 in protection. Okay, so what the Chiefs are going to do on this is they're going to bring him inside, they're going to bring this end outside, they're going to spike this defensive back in here, and they're going to bring their inside linebacker right in here, right? Trying to create separation between your guard and your tackle, and you're going to force your quarterback to throw hot off of one of these guys. Now, you got to think, right, defensively, we're going to leave 2 unblocked on this side. That's what you're thinking defensively. Obviously, Brady has been around for a little bit. He knows what's going on. Offensive line actually does a really good job picking this thing up because only one guy comes free. That's a really good job from the O-line, something that needs to be brought up and something that you need to build off of, okay? So what ends up happening on this is as this defensive tackle spikes, our center picks it up. Shaq Mason does a good job stepping into his gap and then picking up this linebacker. Marcus Cannon does a really good job working out here, and then this is the hot guy, right? That's the guy that they're going to throw off of for the Patriots. That's who Brady's going to throw off of. That's where he ends up finding Edelman. If they blitz, you have to replace it with the route, and that's where you end up picking up good yardage. Really good execution here. Great job by 12 getting that thing off, and a really good job by Edelman finding the crease on this one. All right, fellas, this is literally the next play on the drive. Chiefs end up doubling down here and bringing more pressure, okay? And in this situation, right, when they bring pressure like that, you always have your blitz beater. In this case, Brady goes to the outside. All right, he goes to the outside on this, and I'm not drawing it because I want to show you guys the next play on this too. Now, I know a lot of people are like, hey, well, why doesn't he hit Lacoste, right? Well, that's because you have reads that you go through on every play. And chances are on this play, he knows that there's going to be a bunch of commotion on the inside. Someone might be dropping, right? We've seen that other teams are doing this where they're dropping one of these guys in front of the 3 receiver side. So what do? You go to the backside of it. You go to your one-on-one matchup, right? This is on Dorsett. This isn't on Brady, right? As soon as he gets off the ball, he's got to snap his head around. What are we looking at? Why are you trying to stem this thing upfield? We have pressure. I can guarantee you they coach this up during the week, right? If you have pressure like that, you got to snap your head around quick and be ready for a back shoulder ball. That's what Dorsett has to do on this play. Now we go to the next play, right? And this is the Jacoby Myers draw ball on 3rd down. This is a ball that he has to have, okay? 3rd down, we know the Chiefs are going to bring heat. Once again, we got the single high, right? We got one high. There's going to be cover 1, and they're bringing heat down low, okay? So they have their crosser with Jacoby Myers right here. He's got to reel this one in. right? This ball's on the money. That's might be a first down, at least 4th and short, right? Then you put your guys in a position to go for it. But those two plays, they show me that this receiving core still needs work. Jacoby's getting there. He's just got to reel that thing in, and that comes with reps. That comes with experience. They'll get there. They need the time, and I don't know, man. They practice the best. New England's the best practicing team in the NFL. I don't doubt that. I just think they got a lot of young bucks in there who need to make crucial plays like this. All right, fellas, off the blocked punt, the Patriots go to their pin and pull. They motion in Lacoste from the number 1 spot. They're going to pin that edge defender, and they're going to pull with their tackle. I'm going to break this thing down from the end zone view. Really good play call from the Pats on this. I absolutely love this, and this is the kind of stuff that I see them running, right? They get into that sudden change, and they kind of dig into their playbook. Let's find out what we really like to run right now. So here's how it's going to look, right? They motion in Lacoste. He's going to be about right there, probably a little bit farther outside. They're going to pin this edge defender with him. You're going to pull your tackle around, and he's looking for that alley defender. Whoever's lined up in that alley, that's who he's going to go block. Outstanding job on this play by Joe Thuney, working up right here and cutting that backer. This is a crucial block to this whole thing, because if this backer does crawl across like that, he's going to end up making this play for about a 2-yard gain. Joe Thuney does a great job working up and cutting that backer. Can't say that enough. Center does a really good job working. I don't think he gets the cut on this one, but he does end up working and just kind of reaching that guy and working him upfield. Really good job by him on this play. But again, attacking the edges of the defense, something that I could see the Patriots doing more often in this season if their interior game isn't working. But just schematically a good play call, get this running game going, get the boys some confidence, and they end up picking up some good yardage on that. And then we just dive into this next play, right? We have the Brandon Bolden jet sweep. You're trying to attack the edges of this defense, and they do a really good job of it right here. You know, on the last play, you got the guys working. You just pinned, right, that defensive end. So you know they're going to communicate when they go to the huddle. Hey, watch it. They're probably going to go back to it. Nope, they go to that jet sweep. But what I love about this play when we watch it from the end zone is the action on the inside, right? The action on the inside of this thing says power. And that's so key because it keeps these backers locked in. So what they're going to do on this is they're going to run essentially power with these guys. Okay, they're going to pull Joe Thuney, but these backers are reading guard. Look where that backer's face mask is, right? That backer's face mask is staring at the guard. So that tells me, right, and it tells the Patriots they're keying the guards. So as he pulls, he steps up, thinking it's going to be power. Brandon Bolden takes off to the sidelines and puts that thing into 6. That's good coaching. That's a good job scheming up that defense. And a really good job putting points on the board in a critical situation. All around a really good job from the Patriots on this short field and getting some points back and crawling back into this game. All right, fellas, the Nikhil Harry touchdown, and I'm calling it a touchdown because it was a touchdown. This play call, again, it's kind of funny how everything ends up tying into each other, right? And that's the best thing about great coaching and being a good play caller, stuff like this, right? Earlier in the game, we broke down that inside zone of the wham with James White, okay? In that situation, it was Matt Lacoste whamming, right? In this situation, it's Nikhil Harry. Now, to the defense, this looks exactly the same as that inside zone. Maybe a little bit more wide zone-ish, but again, you're getting the influence from the backers this way, right? Boom, boom. We're trying to influence those backers, and we're going to put this defensive end in a pickle. He actually does a good job redirecting on this. Most guys probably aren't going to play it like that, but he's a stud, and he does. And he almost breaks his pass up. But again, we get that ball out to Nikhil Harry and watch the blocking from the receivers downfield. And we see a little glimpse of what Nikhil Harry can do, man. Shedding one tackle, he sheds another. Big, strong, physical runner, diving into the end zone. The man got a touchdown stolen from him. I feel bad. He deserves it. But this is a really good play call, and again, it's just how everything ties into each other. He sheds that one, good blocking on the outside from, I believe that's Dorsett, and he does end up finding that end zone. It makes me want to throw up watching these two doofuses try and figure this thing out. But a really good play call. You can see how things tie in, and an extraordinary effort from Nikhil Harry on this play. All right, fellas, last play we're going to be taking a look at here, the 4th and goal. Just rips your heart out when you come this close to tying up the football game. Should have been a field goal to tie, but I digress. All right. The Chiefs have shown you in the critical situations on passing downs, they are going to bring the heat, which means you're going to get cover 0 or cover 1. All right. The Patriots are in a very simple, people run this play in Madden. Okay. This is your Y corner. All right. Really simple. Every playbook in America has this play. And to be honest, I like the play call. I love it. Love it. Okay, you isolate your best receiver one-on-one with a defensive back. I saw some guys who were talking about, oh, he should have thrown it to Jacoby Myers. Dude, you're not going to throw it down low on a play like this, right? You have your best receiver matched up one-on-one with a DB. You're going to take that 10 times out of 10, okay? And on this, the critique I do have is I think that Edelman should go up for it, right? I feel like 11 should try and get up, try and get that ball, but at the same time, it was just a weird situation because I don't think that he knew that the defensive back was right there. This is a phenomenal play from 21. Phenomenal play from Rashad Breeland on this, right? He does a good job not interfering at all, just kind of sticks his arm out there and knocks that thing away. I don't think 11 knew he was there at all. I really don't think he does. But again, I'm not going to sit here and rip the play call like other guys that, people in the media are. I'm not going to sit there and say you should have thrown it to Jacoby. No, in situations like this, you go to your guy. You go to 11. This is what he's there for. If the Pats just, I guess it's unlucky. I don't know. I would say it's unlucky in that situation. But when you're facing the heat like this, I completely understand why 12 is going to Julian Edelman on this, and I would have done the exact same thing if I was in his position. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this film breakdown. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. I tried to incorporate the markers on this one. My computer's a little choppy. It's a little slow. Please bear with me on that. If you did learn something, if you enjoyed, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, it would mean the world to me. With all that being said, guys, I'm the Hook Cam. That's all I got for you today, and I'll see you next time.